Hey, who'd you talk to? What's Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Leopard King Michael. This is Legit Paranormal 101, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. Still June 6th for me. Still 2023. Not going to do anything for Math Geeks because I already solved that one. Joining me this week, first off, Sarah Parah Normal. Happy birthday, Sarah. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. Hey, Mike, I feel like if this is class, you're like the safety kid. Like you need the orange banner and you need to make sure you tell people to quit running in the halls. You know that kid? You guys, you didn't have that kid in your school where they always were like helping the teachers. They got like a little orange sash and they were like, "You're late to class. Stop running in the halls." So bus. It was safety.
All right. I'm so old that we would have beat up those kids. I'm being dead honest. They weren't those kids because they would have got beat up. And I wish I was joking. We didn't have safety kids. No kids wanted safety back in my. Sin Schrader Hill. What's up, Sin?
I thought when she started, she was talking about special ed for you.
Can be that too.
Because that's the first thing I thought of when you said the little safety vest and everything. Oh,
I love you, Sin.
Why would she do that to Mike?
I don't. You know what's funny is I just
there's a lot of reasons.
I just missed that insult completely. I'll be dead honest.
What?
I don't know what you said about me about the vest because someone's insult me over here. Like I can't. You both insulted me at the same time. And because my mind's not big enough, I didn't hear either one. No, somebody's writing it. You're saying it. And you know what, you guys? I didn't even hear it. So have at it. That's about me.
I misunderstood her. So there was nothing against you at all.
No,
I don't think so. I didn't.
It was just it's like a moderation thing. It's all in love, man. I'm telling you.
I don't even know where I'm at with this. Julie.
Hey, it's called Safety Patrol.
Safety Patrol. Julie knows what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right. Sarah,
Thank you.
Says, I would have said creepy janitor. No more
creepy janitor.
No more messages. No more messages from you, Sarah. No more messages from you. All right, so Sin, last week, because have you actually sent it? You've met Julie, Sin?
This is the first time I've actually gotten to meet her face to face. Yes.
Yeah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
You guys would not like each other. Trust me on that one.
I'm
kidding.
I don't know why he's saying that.
So, Sin, we did a Paranormal 101, and we literally broke down the idea of first week recap. Would be kind of why you'd want to do it. What is it like that's you're looking to do, just in general? So, Sarah, from last week's show, put you on the spot. What part of it you think resonated the most with people that were watching? Like that was like, oh, all right, yeah, that helps, or that makes sense.
I mean, we did a really in-depth talk about team roles, which is important because if you're thinking about joining a team and they only have a certain spot open, it's important that you're joining a team in a role that fits you and your particular expertise. So, I mean, that was great. We got a huge response from young women. So that we're happy to see a panel of female paranormal investigators. So, I mean, it really touches me that young girls that want to get into this are watching. I mean, I think it's great.
Oh yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
I mean, what was I going to say? You know
It's
what I mean?
okay.
Well,
And you wonder why, Mike.
I'm just saying, like, what was I supposed to say? You know what I mean? Like, when it swings around, I'm supposed to go, nah. Like, I mean, you can't
Girl
do
power.
that. So, all right. So,
Yes.
the question that was brought up was this: how much does it matter on the team name? I want to just hear this from people. When you're looking at teams to pick to come to your house, to pick to maybe go think about joining, to name your team, how important are names? Scale of 1 to 10. Who wants to go first? Sin, you're new. 1 to 10. How important are the team names or group names association?
Since my team name is what I came up with, I think it's a 10. I mean, I was
no bias there. No.
Right? So I worked with audio before I created this team, and everything down here is Elk Valley this, Elk Valley that. So I'm always looking for EVPs. I wanted that as the call letter. So Elk Valley Paranormal, EVP, it was perfect. That's my deal.
All right. So, all right. Wait a minute, though. Elk Valley is because of a location.
The area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
The area.
So is Elk Valley known well?
There is Elk Valley everything around this area. Elk Valley, whatever. Elk Valley this, Elk Valley that, Elk Valley Times, the newspaper, it's just Elk Valley everything around here.
Because that's actually important when it comes to cities. Like in other words, I'm being serious. Like, some people call themselves like whatever paranormal, and it's out of like a city that nothing's attached to. But then there's some cities, for some reason, they'll take their name and put it on everything they do. Even like sometimes streets, they'll all be named like Westbury Street Pub, Westbury Street. That just goes on and on. So that's something to look for. Julie, team names. Looking to start one, looking to join one. How much does that matter to you?
I would say it's not probably the most important part, but it is. I mean, it depends on if you're going into houses, helping people, then you probably want something a little more professional. Mm-hmm. If you're not doing that and you're just doing it as in like doing like more notoriously haunted locations, then it could be a little more fun, I would say. I think it depends on what your objective is.
Mm-hmm.
I think public homes is a really nice line to draw right there. Where if you should think about your name, are you going to go into is someone going to let you in their house with a name like, Death, how about Death Valley? Like, you know what I mean? Like Viking paranormal investigator. You'd be like, no, keep them out. Sarah, your thoughts?
I mean, so great points that both Sin and Julie made. Was back to Sin's point with the EVP in the name, it tells you right there what they're about, their methodology, which is important because if someone's got hunter or, ghost hunters, then maybe that's not the person you want figuring out what's going on in your house. If it got some sciencey name, then they're going to use more science methods. Our name is Florida Paranormal Investigators because we wanted to help as many people as possible. And I knew that people were going to Google Florida Paranormal Investigator. And so we would come up first and cut out some of those other teams that we knew were doing damage to people by going into their homes and, just giving them misinformation. So that goes back to like what Julie said as well. It's all the considerations of how you're going to investigate and where you're going to investigate. So awesome.
Okay. Yeah. But now say I'm not somebody that's extremely bright, and I have what I think might be ghosts in my house, and I would rather have a hunter than an investigator. Now, there's got to be people that are like that, where their first instinct is, I'd rather get a hunter than an investigator. In other words, they don't want to know about this thing. They don't want to hear about its past. They just want somebody like a rat catcher to just come over and take this thing out of my house. So the word hunter, I agree, does not portray it correctly, or it doesn't seem to me to be as acceptable as investigator at all. But it might resonate with a lot of people that, hey, you're actually a hunter? Right. Because there's the turtle hunter, for crap's sake. He was huge. Live action. Anybody want to comment on that? The difference there? Go ahead, Sarah.
So, like, you make a good point there.
Of course
the point is too, okay, so something you need to consider as an investigator. There are a lot of people that just want you to come into their home and play paranormal investigator. And you really need to figure that out before you spend your time and energy going there. So if you have a really dynamic name like Hunter, people might call you in because they want you to come in the dark and use the equipment, and then they want to get overly involved in it, and it just becomes like a circus almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Sin, the name hunting, can you see where I meant with that? Or someone
I do. That was a group that I was with first. They trained me. So, I think it's got to be per the team, the person that comes up with their name. It's got to mean something to them that they can actually explain to somebody if they ask, why did you name yourself Ghost? What is that? Ghost Hunters of Southern Tennessee, or, whatever the call letters are. You need to be able to explain it and not come off sounding like you don't know shit.
That's perfect.
Can I say that on here?
You just said it, so I don't know why we would ask it. You know what I mean? All right. So, all right. But you go to join a place. Enthusiasm. You guys look for that if you're going to join a team. Like in other words, you want to meet the other members, and not only we already checked out their skills and capabilities and who can do what in the A team, who's B.A. Baracus, so to speak, or Face or Hannibal. Never mind. It comes down to enthusiasm, right? You want people that have energy, that are willing to go do stuff. You don't want to have to drag somebody with you to get anything accomplished. Isn't that kind of what you would be looking for first time? Who wants to go? Let's start with Julie going backwards. Julie?
Yes, actually, absolutely. We have that all the time because we have a big group of people that we work together with, and you can't get everybody to come at the same time. So it's like you want to have people on your team that's going to be reliable, that you can count on. Like if you have an investigation, that will be more than likely to always come. I mean, if they can't come every now and then, it's understandable, but you want someone that's reliable.
That's kind of why I like to have 4 hosts per show. True fact. Because you could get 2 flat tires like that, and it's just 2 people.
Exactly.
Sin, that question back to you.
Ask it again.
The enthusiasm. You're lacking, apparently.
Like I'm lacking right now. I apologize.
That's fine.
No, all the enthusiasm, yes, it's got to be there. But you've also got to think about personality. Because, the first group I was with, there was this one person, or actually there was 2 that I couldn't deal with. I could not work with them. I was learning. They didn't want to teach. They wanted to tell and expect you to know what the hell you're doing when you first start. You don't know what you're doing when you first start.
Yeah.
Nobody does. So you got to find somebody that you can actually talk to and then be civil to you and open up to you, and you guys can have a conversation. So if you've got a group that you've got some bickering going on, you need to figure that shit out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we discussed that last time, the bickering. Oh,
Yeah.
bickering. Sarah, so do you like to are you more willing to join a group, or do you like to pull a group kind of towards you?
I mean, my background professionally was in corporate training. So we just brought on a bunch of new people. I wrote a 60-page manual because that's how I am. So I love teaching people. So when I hear Sin's story, and there's a lot of them about people not wanting to teach, that makes me sad. Like, I'd love to bring new people in and teach them and help them discover their own way, because there's so many different ideas in the field. And like, back to enthusiasm and even getting along, there's a lot of downtime when you're investigating sometimes. Like, pick people you're going to have fun with. Like, my team is they're my best friends.
Exactly.
They literally are my best friends. And it makes it so much easier and so much more enjoyable. And you don't all have to be best friends, but you at least got to be able to, like, everyone needs to be able to, like, everyone needs to have a sense of humor, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I
mean, you got to spend long nights together.
Exactly.
So, you know?
And sometimes nothing is happening. So
And
there you are.
Exactly.
Hungry. Yeah.
So the bonding is made in the boring time.
Yes. Yep.
I would say so. Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's when you get to know people a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you get a media gauge usually of who you're dealing with. Like, can I deal with these people? Can I be in a foxhole with these people? Yeah, that's kind of thing. So that's something you want to know. Okay, so then, all right. So Sarah, what would be the next question? If you look into the name does kind of matter. We established that. It matters if you're going to do residential. It matters if you're going to be like a ghost hunting team and try to make a TV show. Like, I get the fancy name for that. But after the whole thing with the name, how would a ghost team want to go about getting, first off, a good reputation out of the shoot, and secondly, respect of peers, because there's always going to be peer groups. I think you should be conscious too of groups that are in your area doing the same thing, not for competition rules, but just to know. Right? Does that make sense too, Sarah?
Yeah. I mean, look, so when you're coming out and you're looking to develop a good reputation, this is kind of what I think we discussed a little bit about last week. Like, you need to know what your mission is, and you need to keep that mission and vision clear, whether it's having experiences and fun, research, helping people, and you can do all three, but pick your primary vision and make it very clear and stick to it. Ours is on our website. There's a Bill of Rights on our website. So I mean, if you're true to yourself, that I think automatically gives you some credibility, and get to know the teams in your area. Like, you're all going to be like, it's so stupid when teams fight, and I've been into this location, so you can go there now because it's mine. Everyone should be collaborating. Like, get over it.
Absolutely. I agree.
You just created the word auto immediately.
I know. I've been
not automatically and not
hours now.
Not automatically or immediately, but auto immediately. I'm gonna use that when I need something super fast. So I'll be like, "Could you hurry up with that auto immediately?"
Immediately.
Auto immediately.
Two.
All right.
Auto immediately.
Auto immediately. I don't know.
How it got
makes sense to me.
Yeah. Julie. Julie saves my ass again.
Sin.
Yes.
What do you think about the whole? What would you do next? Like, in other words, how do you gain a good credibility? Other than, which is the most basic answer, is just do what you say you're gonna do and show up. I mean, that that's too easy for people. That's just too easy. So what else would they do? Explain to the dumb, which I represent. I am founding member. How we would want to build up some sort of credibility so people don't think we're a bunch of, as one woman called us before a podcast, yahoos.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was a good one.
Yahoos.
It's funny as hell. I love that word. I loved it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, communication is key. So that's the biggest thing. When someone reaches out to you, you've got to answer as soon as you can. You know, there's times where you can't get right to it, but you can say, look, I got your message. I will get back to you tonight. You know, give them kind of a rough time frame or something, or I won't be able to talk to you until next Friday or something, so that they know that you heard them. The thing I do as far as before we go anywhere is have a questionnaire so they can fill out as much as possible. And I mean, it gets pretty detailed as far as the questioning. And some people, the ones that are wanting the shows, will not fill them all the way out. They can't. It's because they want someone to come in. They don't know how to answer these questions. They don't know, when did this start? What exactly are the sounds that you're hearing? And I've just been doing this for 10 years, but my BS meter really picks up when I get any kind of questionnaire back that 5 questions are answered out of 30.
Yeah.
All right, but I don't completely fill out questionnaires. Like, I'll be honest, if I get admitted here on the air, I'll say it. I'm not a big fan of questionnaires,
and that's okay. But in the ones I send out, I'll say, fill this out as completely as you can to make sure that we are a good fit for you. We might not be able to help you.
Right.
well, not for a ghost, I would. For a ghost, I mean, for this kind of incident, of course, I'd fill it out completely. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, a lot of
Yeah,
people
I mean,
fill
who
out
does
so
like questionnaires?
Right.
I mean, who does really like to fill out questionnaires? Go to the doctor's office and you've got to fill out 50 pages, so, but if you're really having problems, you're going to fill out a questionnaire to get somebody to come help you.
Julie, as a medium yourself, I almost want to say, what's your head tell you when you walk in places like that? How quickly can you pick up vibes on your room?
I can usually pick stuff up before I even go. I'll have either dreams, or I pick up like feelings about the place. I pick up, things that have happened in the past. Sometimes people, I'll see them in my mind's eye. And situations that have happened.
You mean like
sicknesses.
problematic ones? Is that what you're talking about?
From spirits, or like I pick up from spirits before I even go to a place.
But wait a minute, what are they doing? Giving you a review of the place? The spirits? Are they telling you like what to check out?
Like every place I ever go to, they come to me before I even go. It's really weird. It's like within a week before I go, I get,
like big places.
I don't know how to explain it, but
because I know you don't, because I'm a little confused. You mean big places, right? Like a trip, something like that. Like, you don't mean like if I went to Target.
No.
I would know.
Well, no. If I'm going on specifically like a paranormal investigation, and I'm going somewhere, it has to be a paranormal investigation.
You had me thinking it was like every time you left the house, dude. I was getting really upset for you.
No. But
guy's business.
Yeah, I do. Like before I go to a location, I usually pick up on stuff about a week ahead, sometimes a little before. So.
Do you read pictures, Julie?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Yep. That's a good tool. That's an amazing tool.
Okay, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
like for instance, and then I'll let Julie comment on how she does it. So if we get a client, we can send their pictures to our medium and she can read things off of their pictures. And a lot of the time that gives us really good information before we even go.
Okay.
So, I mean, I know Julie does mostly historical, but I mean, it's just an amazing tool to have if you're walking into an unknown environment to have a medium that can read photographs.
Yeah. Yep. I know. What? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, where would I walk into that I did not want to have a medium by my side? Someone that could see
on a ghost hunt.
I'm sorry.
Not on a ghost hunt. I wouldn't want to. I would always want to meet. Everyone should have a medium. Everybody.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah. But we'd have Julie run the perimeter. Just keep running around the perimeter. Harrington. Let me know, please.
Jeez, Mike.
I'm sorry. You were saying. Well, maybe you weren't.
No, I wasn't. Can I build off of something that Sin was talking about with the questionnaire? Because it's an excellent tool, you know, and they can be detailed or not detailed. But, you know, we've run into so many bad situations lately that we're thinking about almost making it certain questions have to be answered or we're just not going to go, because if you're a team leader, you have to think about your team's safety. So, you know, make sure certain questions are answered, have them sign it, that they understand, you know, you can attach on there that they understand what the expectations are during the investigation. And then also have someone do a background check, I think, on the clients, which we've started doing. Absolutely. And they have to consent to that. But as we discussed last week, I showed up, Sin, you were there, to a house. And it turns out that there was quite a violent criminal record on the homeowner.
Oh, no.
Jeez, yeah. So, I'm not allowed anymore to just go places. We have to have our historian, who also does our background checks, do that first.
But Sin, weren't you there for the show when the person said that the guy wanted them to come tie him up?
Yes, that was Angel.
That was an even stranger story than that. That's why I am a hypocrite. Big fan of being a hypocrite, right? Mm-hmm. If it was like my son going on a paranormal thing, I would have him probably ask like 5 questions. Now his twin sister, I want a good 4 to 5 pages.
See,
now and I want to know what's going on. What's the deal there before you even go there? So that's my point with that. I'm a hypocrite. I think one way should look out more than the other, because we heard that story, and that story's forever changed me. Like, who would ever say that? Like, I want you to investigate the house. This team won, but tie me up first. I'm not joking. That's racing.
I know. That's what
that would freak me out.
But look at it like this. So, would you, if Sarah or Julie were your daughters, would you want them to go someplace if the person hasn't filled out the questionnaire?
No.
Not.
There you go.
Not at all.
Yeah. No. And if someone did not fill out a questionnaire, would you feel safe enough going, Mike?
Yeah, I don't.
See?
I don't. It doesn't matter to me.
I'm a hypocrite. You said it doesn't matter?
No, to me, I don't know. I'm not. Doesn't matter that much to me. It might be more exciting in the long run. Could be worse. I never know. I'm more of a chaos theory kind of guy. Like, I just roll with it and see what happens.
Dude.
I've seen some stuff. You don't know.
Careful. Yeah. Be careful.
Well, I know that.
Yes. You should be scared of. It is definitely not the ghost you should be scared of.
No,
well, I know.
People, no. Yeah,
absolutely. The people.
It's people.
Keep in mind.
And it's getting worse. It's getting worse every day.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Keep in mind, I don't do investigations, right? I'm the only one of the 4. You know, which one's not like the others. It's me. I don't. If you ask me what I would take for an application, I don't really know. I don't care. I would just go check it out, see what's going on. Usually I get a square deal. If not, whatever. Things happen. But yeah, I would think you guys would want to know as much as like the HIPAA law would allow you to find out about this person before you go on his property. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
find out about the property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to know about the property as well.
Yeah.
As, you know, whatever they can tell you about the property. Maybe they've only lived there for 2 years, but, you know, they know that there was a Confederate cemetery behind it that people broke into some graves or something.
Right.
You kind of need to know that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or even, is there black mold? Like, is there like something in the environment that's actually harmful for the investigators or the residents? Like, oh yeah, there's high tension wires in a power plant next door. We all have headaches. It's a ghost. It's not. But
would hoarding be a dead giveaway?
Ooh, that makes me nervous.
I just had one. We just had one where we walked in and it was a hoarded house. Nobody knew. It was
a hoarded house?
Yeah, it was hoarded. Like, it was completely hoarded.
I know, but the way you said it was sound like haunted house was perfect. Sorry.
It's
house.
the Canadian buffalo
Yeah,
accent.
there it is. That's what I'm saying. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hoarded house.
Yeah.
Right.
No
So
one
wait a
had
minute. Say again, how many boxes?
How many boxes? I don't know. You couldn't. There were just piles. There were no boxes. It was just piles of stuff.
Could you even breathe in there?
No, there were a lot of animals. It smelled really bad. The people were having serious problems, and there were younger children in there. So we were concerned, and we stayed. But it was extremely uncomfortable. It's impossible to investigate. I mean, really. There was no room to even set any equipment up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be the old guy in me again. I would have been calling for all the letters.
Yeah, I know.
For those kids. If there were mounds of junk and animals, and these people may be young and they think that there's ghosts. No offense. Just letting you know what they think. You put all that together, and it's like you get the kid out of the house. No offense. No offense to these people. I don't know who they are. Allegedly, I'm just saying this. That would scare me as a guy.
Yeah, you got to be very careful with calling the authorities. It's a consideration. There are instances in which you definitely need to maybe call the authorities. The children, well, they were younger, like they were in their teens. They had dropped out of high school. You definitely need to consider it, but you also need to consider some sort of, liability.
What's going to really happen? Exactly, I know that. What's really going to happen, other than just a bunch of nonsense they're going to put you through, and by that time, they'll clean it up for a day. They'll go look at it. You'll sound like you're nonsensical. I get it, but it's that immediate reaction. I would think. Cindy, are you with me on this? That immediate reaction would be like,
I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, we pulled the girl aside and talked to her, and I think that's the way to go, because don't forget, when you go into these places, you should be interviewing witnesses separately anyway.
Oh yeah.
So that's a chance to pull any minors or any elderly that might be compromised to the side and sort of like check in on them and make sure that they're doing okay. I mean,
so do you get a slight interrogation style profile of everybody? Is that what you're kind of saying? Like anybody involved in the house, you kind of want to get to know them a little bit better than just what their stories are. Like you kind of want to get Julie, I would have guessed you're looking more to read them in a sense, get more of a feel on them, vibe wise of who's doing what.
Definitely.
Can you tell
I can
lies?
usually tell what. Oh yeah, I can tell when someone's lying. That's what I was just getting ready to say. I can tell if someone's lying, if they're not being completely truthful, stuff like that. So.
And that's
my husband, Julie. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I just said that's a lot of it, because they'll tell you just enough.
Yeah.
And leave out some shady stuff that you really need to know. And that might be causing some of the crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
we're finding abuse causes a lot of the crap. I don't know if like you guys have run into that, but in homes where there's a lot of domestic violence, like or hoarding or any of these situations that like that amps up paranormal activity from what
Oh
I've
yeah, it
seen. I
does.
don't know about you
Oh
guys.
yeah, yeah.
Does that hype
Depression,
up?
all of that. That usually comes hand in hand.
Wait,
Sorry, go ahead.
is that escalating paranormal activity or people that are out of their trees? Because
It
let's
can be either
all right.
or both.
Well, I
Both.
mean,
Yeah.
paranormal is attracted to people that are depressed, people that have negative emotions. And when
Mhm.
you see hoarding or child abuse or that kind of stuff, they're gonna that's who they're gonna
Mhm.
go
and it
to.
doesn't and it doesn't even have to be abuse that you can see signs of. This can be
Emotional. Yeah.
so bad emotional where somebody comes into the room and they're used to their spouse going, "You're wearing that."
Yeah.
Just that kind of stuff can push somebody so far down that they're just wallowing in all this negativity. And if there is something in the house that is low vibrational energy, it will feed on that
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
ramp up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Those
So
are
wait
the
a
ones
minute.
that usually,
Go ahead.
Parasites. Yeah.
yeah, you get the bad spirits that come in that try to attach to that type of stuff. So yeah,
Mhm.
Try to attach to what? Help me.
Anything negative
anyone
that they
who's
can
like
feed on.
anything negative emotions, negative. Yeah, I mean, if somebody's depressed, if there's abuse going on,
Yep.
you get like the negative spirits will come in and like attach themselves to that kind of stuff.
And don't forget that that type of situation can also create poltergeist where the person is manifesting their negative emotions physically. So there is no spirit in a sense, but it's their own energy that is so repressed or so terrible that it starts to manifest in their house,
And mostly they don't know it.
And
They have
they
Oh
usually
yeah, they don't know they're doing it.
they
Yeah,
don't.
they don't know they're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I can pick that up too. I'm actually able to pick up if it's coming from somebody. So, yeah, I don't know.
so I would not want to know first off if someone's lying. Like really know the God's honest truth. I wouldn't want that responsibility. It sounds like a Spider-Man power, but it's too much. It would be too much to know all that. But all right, so wait a minute. So
Yeah.
you're saying that you guys I don't want to phrase this and not I just come off sounding like the dumb guy, no matter how I phrase it, so it's pointless to do. So you're saying that after all this, you want to know the person, the history, the person, their history with each other, how they usually act with each other. You can't do the Brady Bunch, drop the suitcase, see if they turn. So you stop by, see if they're out of character. I don't know. You guys are investigators. I would think that's an interrogation method. You try to get them and to definitely separate them. You have to separate them. You could never do it together. So what do you call it? Like one-on-ones? Like how do you propose that to a client? You say, what are you going to do one-on-ones first?
Well, yeah, and we don't interview. We interview before we investigate. So our case manager does a complete face-to-face interview. So either at their house or at least over Zoom. And we need people now. What we've learned is to consent to that, or we're not going to go for our own safety. And then you interview them again when you go for the investigation. You have to look for those differences or similarities that are appearing in the stories. And we also have an activity assessment tool, which is pretty detailed with just like basically words people can circle about what they're experiencing. And everybody needs to fill that out separately and we compare them. So like you're looking for stories to change or match up, that type of thing. But you have to keep asking questions in different ways. Interviewing is the same kind of tool as like an EMF meter or a tri-field meter. It's a tool. You got to do it.
Okay.
At least for residentials. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hope so. I would hope the list of questions is extensive. Now, say they got some blemishes on the old CMV or on the record. What do you use for judgment? Like, what's the cutoff line? And I'm being serious. Like, in other words, what violent crimes, insanity, like what really? I mean, that's serious. What is the cutoff? Like misdemeanors, felonies?
I think it's case by case.
Yeah.
All right. Good answer.
I'm telling you, it's a feeling you get. If anything knocks you off your game at all, or if you've got any kind of doubt, you shouldn't go. You shouldn't. You got to listen to your gut. Your gut is your best tool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Agree with that, but no doubt, because I have doubt every time I go anywhere. A little bit of doubt.
Well,
wherever I'm going.
Right, but not a doubt where you think you might be in danger. If you feel that, you're not going.
No, you shouldn't.
If you don't trust somebody, something's not right. Something's not right here. You just get that feeling, and you're gonna. Now, my team, I've got 2, 3. Everybody but me has a carry license, and everybody's we're safe. And what's so funny with Sean and Walt, they'll go into a building and clear it before we go in to investigate. They will go clear it to make sure there's no stragglers, there's no bum in there, that's shooting up or whatever. And we have a really good rapport with the police department here in town. So if we need somebody, they know us. We're going to be over here tonight. So, good luck. Hope you find something. They always say that. But you kind of need a really good relationship with some security figures.
Yeah.
I think networking within your area is incredibly important, especially if you want to be an investigating team. Like, in other words, you're going to come into people's houses. You want them to think great things about you.
Yeah.
It couldn't hurt to get in good with local businesses and stuff like that, and maybe get involved with a charity, if not to just help out in general, right? Isn't that the way to kind of?
Yeah, definitely.
All right, but so what would you do like something like that? In other words, you want to reach out to who? The police makes sense. What else would you reach out to? Like I want to expand on what you're saying. So all right, so if I want to reach out, which is a good idea. I'm part of a group now.
Right.
Who do we want to reach out to? Who are we looking to get?
Firefighters are always good to reach out to. You've got situations where they can get into buildings if there's something that just happened. They can get in. Paramedics, you never know. Yeah. We've got several public hunts that people have been scratched and punched. They just sick, just automatically just become sick, and actually need somebody to look after them. So any kind of service figure, I think, is good to keep rapport with.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's important. So Sarah, let me ask you this. You'd want to know about other groups in the area first off, right? So there's that part of it. The house itself, if it's residential, you want to do a full list of paperwork there.
Yeah.
Okay. We're all on the same page with all that. Now, with the community, you kind of want to handle people's cases with confidentiality. I think that would be the first thing. So that's what would make me return or recommend you is that I didn't hear about my stuff being talked about when I was out.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that'd
Yeah.
be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you teams, and you see this happen all the time where the teams roll up in their team shirts with like team whatever all over the band. That's fine if you get permission from the homeowner. If they, because like that this could affect their home values. Like if they go to sell their house and all the neighbors know. So you need to be really careful with that. And we don't put anything on social media unless the client wants us to. So as of yet, like we don't have tons of YouTube videos that get a bunch of attention because we're in people's houses, and I'm not going to blow up their spot to the point where they go to sell their house and it hurts their home value because everyone knows that their house is haunted. But you can't do that to people.
You can't do that. Yeah.
No. So keep it like incognito, like try to carpool, show up in as few cars as possible. Don't wear the team shirts if you're going into someone's house unless they, I don't know, want you to for some reason, or at least talk to them about it.
It would be like Surf Pro. It'd be like, might make me feel better if they all come jumping out in the same shirts, though. It depends on the shirt, too. By the way, just as bad as the name are some of these freaking shirts. Coming from a band background, I value what shirts look like. Not this one. Not the one I'm wearing. But shirts in general, T-shirts, like, band shirts, ghost team shirts. Some, fantastic. Some, they don't pay attention to color. Like,
right.
It's got to be something I'm going to want to look at when I walk by. If there's nothing to the design or color that stops me before I read the words, because everyone thinks we're just reading words. I'll speak for all men. We don't just read words. The last thing we want to do is walk around reading words more than we need to. So if we see a color shirt, if I see something like anything bright,
shiny,
like yes,
yeah.
But even the design has to be somewhat, appealing. I gotta be like, oh, look, it's like a triangle. Is that a dolphin? Like something. You just gotta be like,
yeah. You should be able to sell them. They should be shirts other people would want to wear, because like if you're going to decide you're going to go do Paracons or whatever, you definitely need to have a good logo and good team shirts for events, especially. Yeah.
Now, Sin, there's a difference there. There's promotional shirts and there's team shirts.
Team shirts, yes. Big difference.
What would be the difference in the way you would design those two really quick in your head?
My team logo is only for my team members. Mark Elliott Foltz, that I talk about all the time. He designs the covers and the illustrations in my books. He also designed my T-shirt for me, as far as drew the back of it and what I wanted. It's a dream catcher that says "Help me" with a hand reaching out, and it's native looking because we're around a bunch of Native American areas. So anyway, that's just for my team. I've had people ask, "Can we have one?" No, I'm so sorry, we're not taking team new members right now. But I've got this one, and it's actually the one I sell is they're speaking, "Are you listening?" So it's actually advertising my third book.
Right.
Smart.
Oh, cool.
With Elk Valley Paranormal on it. Mm-hmm.
Smart idea. And plus it makes them want the shirts that you have even more.
Right.
Because they're not allowed to have it.
You can't have it, yeah.
Silly, but that's it. Oh, yeah, boy, that works. That works.
Yeah. And you don't want, just anybody wearing a team shirt anyway, because they can be out.
No, yeah, exactly.
And they're not on the team. So,
right.
But
yeah.
With that said, Sarah,
if
you have fans, right? And people that follow you, and they start repping even the shirt that you have out for promotional reasons.
Right.
You don't think in some way they're going to end up representing you?
Oh, well, no, they definitely do. But any fan, I don't know, to the extent does any fan actually represent the band or whatever they're promoting? I mean, so what I prefer to wear as a team shirt is a black polo with a very small embroidered logo. So it's just a professional look. You know, I want to look professional. Like, I don't care if our team members even have shirts if they look professional. If we're going to go do a photo shoot or an event, that we might all have matching shirts. The way I have them designed is that they're just kind of like, a lot of them are just funny shirts, and the ones we're wearing will have our team logo and a QR code on the back. But if the ones I'm going to sell would not have the team logo and the QR code on the back, they'd have something different. Or, you know, we made investigator training shirts, you know.
But the question was, do you think that the people that wear them eventually end up representing you at all, or people perceive them to represent you?
Do you mean like advertise for her?
In other words, I know this is how it works. I've done it before. Eventually, enough people will end up wearing a shirt that's for an organization you're with. And whether you like the answer or not, which I hated the answer, is that they actually do somewhat represent you. Like, if there was a group of people in legit podcast shirts that, like, you know, started throwing oranges at somebody at a market,
right,
I'd hear about it. It may be one of those things. I'm just saying, it's one of the things we've had it happen before, that you get the wrong people sometimes mixed in with the right people. There's always going to be that crap, right? The wrong people represent you. What I'm saying is, I asked you that because it's a loaded question. I knew you would.
Yeah, I don't like that question. I mean, what I would like to say is that this is a voluntary service that we're all doing. So even if we sell shirts, usually it's going back to the team. Someone can commit a crime in a shirt, and while we might hate that, it's like, you know, what are we really losing? We're not like losing anything financially. As far as credibility, you go on our website, it's very clear who's on the team and who's not.
It matters what type of crime. Like, I don't want to, you know, like, somebody shoplifts with one of my T-shirts on. That's not that big a deal. I'm not going to frown upon that guy. I don't judge. But if I hear there's like an 8-person massacre, you know, and he was wearing like a legit podcast T-shirt, I'd be like, oh crap. I'm sorry. I'm just bothering you now. It's your birthday.
It is, and you are. I mean, it's like, you can't control all these things, and you got bigger stuff to worry about.
No, there really isn't.
A lot's out of your control when it comes to that. I don't know, ladies, back me up, please.
Yeah, I mean, I actually agree. Yeah, I mean, I agree that it's definitely out of your control. You know, it's not something you have control over. If it's something you don't have control over, then I mean, I wouldn't worry about it as much. You know, it's not, and they're not going to say, oh, they're wearing the legit podcast shirt, you know, then
that'd be my luck, though. That would be my luck. They would say that when it happened. You know what I mean?
What you'll get is crazy person who believes in ghosts commits mass shooting. If they're, you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's where it would be damaging. But
Jen, how would you write the title to the mass shooting? What would you use for words? How would you phrase it? Like, what would you say? Like,
why is this happening?
You know,
oh my gosh.
I'm blank right now.
Legit podcast fanatic kills 8. That's yeah. That'd be awful. Awful. It'd be probably good promotion. I'm sorry. I'll take us back on track when I'm enjoying it too much.
Yeah, you are.
You can only podcast for so many hours, right? Eventually, you have to take a couple minutes yourself. You have to. And, you know, we'll get back to it. So when you're looking to join a team, you got to like the people. You got to like the location, right? I don't want to travel way too far, right? I don't think you would want members in the beginning, at least, way too far away. Or am I wrong on that one?
It depends on how much ground you want to cover.
Yeah.
I started out small and then worked up to in the teens as far as members. Mm-hmm. And we were stretched from Nashville over to Chattanooga down to Huntsville, Alabama. So, and over to Spring Hill. So it was this big area, and it was too much. It ended up being way too much. So now we're just down to 4, and it's right here at this area. We got Walt over in Chattanooga, and Sean is close to Huntsville, and I'm right here. Christy's right here. So yeah.
Sarah, what about you?
Yeah.
Chapters? Is that a good idea? Having like different, like I would think having different.
You
like,
can.
chapters.
You could.
Yeah.
You could definitely
Alright.
do
But at first, is it a good idea to be like?
that.
In other words, if you're
Yeah,
running,
not
Sin,
saying
Sin
that.
earned that right. Yeah. Sin earned that right to make her area smaller that she investigates in and pare down her team. Us starting out in this area, like I'm in the middle, and then I've got team members up to an hour and a half north and up to an hour and a half south, and we investigate that entire area. So someone's always driving.
are you trying to say that you have the team designed so that there's people an hour and a half north of you
Mm-hmm.
and an hour and a half south of you, so that you only have to go an hour and a half either way, but the poor people on the south have
I
to
did
go
not
3
Depends
hours
where you're going.
just to get to the
And the
north.
location could be anywhere.
You are the son.
That
You are
just
the son.
happens.
You are the son of the FPI universe. Is that how you're set up?
No, I am definitely not.
Perfectly in the middle, though, somehow. Where the other guy's going to go 3 hours. You're
It just
perfectly in the middle.
happened. It just happened that way. Like we picked the best members.
She's-
And that's where they happen to be located.
Sarah,
And
excuse me for a second. Girls, will you back me up? That's basically what you did to me. All right.
I can't with this guy anymore.
So, Sin, what would you like
Yes.
to say to wrap up? Because as we make our way around, we will get to the wrap-up point.
Okay, so I've got all 4 books on Amazon.
You do?
3 true ghost stories and eerie tales. 1 is fiction with Mark Elliott Fultz. I am accepting stories for my sequel to It's Not Goodbye, Signs from Beyond. And if anyone wants to reach out to me, send me a story. I'd be glad to include it in the next book. You can send it to SinSchraderHillAuthor@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me ElkValleyParanormal.com. All over the place.
It's Sin Schrader Hill Author.
Author, yeah.
Just got to be said always like that. Sin Schrader Hill Author. Thanks. All right. Julie, what did you like to say to wrap up?
Yeah, just I have the TV show on YouTube and on Savior Network, Spirits in the Unexplained, and I have and just follow me on Facebook or YouTube. That's about
All
it.
right. That's good enough. No, you don't have to have like a show coming up at like a nightclub. You're good like that. Like Don, I almost told you the Don Rickles story. Go ahead, Sarah. What would you like to say to wrap it up? On
Florida
your birthday.
Paranormal. Yeah, now that you've tortured me. FloridaParanormalInvestigators.org. We do have a team member application on there. We are always looking for new team members, so go ahead and go fill one out. If we're not hiring right now, we will be soon, I'm sure. Follow us on Instagram at Florida Paranormal and on Facebook. If you're having any issues in your home or business, we are now opening back up to accept new cases. So give us a call.
Well said. This is probably one of my happier times. Thursday's last show, because we don't do shows on Fridays and we don't do shows on Saturdays. So this is like my chance to not do shows. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say, Sin? Like not do shows.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I think what's good is I really think people need to hear the basics again, even the simpler things of what they're doing. If they paid more attention to just the details of little things, I think it would make them best suited to pay attention to the bigger things. Like I just think that if I want an investigation team, I want them to be so into details about everything. You know what I mean? Like that's just the kind of people I want around me, because I would want people to always be picking up on stuff that I'm not paying attention to. You know what I mean? Like I get the whole application thing, making it big. But that's where someone like the way my brain works. Like I'll give an example. Someone was trying to make me sign up for something with like a Skype meeting. I couldn't understand why I was doing it, and I almost got done to finishing it, and the computer refreshed, and I was like, nope. No, I don't know if you guys ever had that happen, but I refuse to rewrite my stuff. I'm not taking time to retype what I just my whole address. It's a big deal, but nope, not doing it.
Depends on how motivated you are to do whatever you're doing. So there you go.
But dude,
Yeah,
I
it's
just
true.
won't do that. I won't do it. I won't retype it in. It's like I either blame the computer, which is an inanimate object, or I blame the person that made me fill out the poll. All right. Let me do that. So, for Julie EMP, for Miss Sin Schrader Hill author, for Sarah Parah Normal. It is me, Mike Lepre King Michael. This was Legit, a Paranormal 101 brought to you by legitpodcast.com. We will see you again on Sunday. I don't know who Buddy had booked. I'm pretty sure that